welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. It's time now to review headlines on today's newspapers. And of course, we are missing KK, the ombudsman of This Day and Arise Group, so we have to do it ourselves.
Today, KK.
And as usual, we'll start with This Day on Sunday, and the lead story says 2023 elections. INEC receives 216 requests for particulars of candidates. The writers there say electoral umpire recognizes Akpabio-backed APC faction in Akwa Ibom. Vote buying may mar Osun governorship poll, say INEC NSA. I mean, that's an interesting thing. 216 requests, on the particulars of candidate. I think people are interested in those who have put themselves forward, who want to be in charge of their affairs. And I think that it is only fair for citizens to be interested, which is in sync with what Adebayo Kunu, that we had earlier, that to say, come out clean with the people. It probably won't be a major determinant factor, but people
at least have a right to know who is about to govern them.
It's not sufficient to say that I've lost my certificate, or I didn't do this, or I didn't do that. Come out clean and let people choose you in spite of it, if they so will. Other stories: police rescue 77 hypnotized people from church basement in Ondo. That's on page 8. That's a rather, intriguing story there, coming from Ondo, where we had, that horrific attack in the church. Now to see that in the basement of a church, people were like, we'll say abducted and then hypnotized, young ones, what's going on there. So the governor of the state, Rotimi Akeredolu, shouldn't just speak when it comes to security concerns, but he should also speak, and be seen to be taking a major decision in this kind of a matter. It would be nice to have an idea of what led to that inside the church. Defend yourselves against attackers, Adeboye tells followers as the general overseer of the Redeemed Church, saying that the time that you will rely solely on God or, folding your arms is over. Defend yourself, which is, again, it
by
speaks
what
to...
means? Do we have any explanation? What does he mean by that? Defend yourself using what?
I've not read the story in its entirety, but it says that if the church has become a target, then as citizens, the Constitution allows you to defend yourself. To defend yourself, which is not a strange thing to say. And if you also look at it, what is happening in the U.S., for example, one church that was attacked in Texas, as you know, has this character of, don't mess with Texas. Churchgoers defended themselves and gunned down an attacker in the church. We do not know where we are at this point, whether people who are duly licensed can be allowed, even as church worshippers, can be allowed to go into worship services with guns if they are licensed.
It's really ironic, I have to say, because, not a strange statement to hear around here, but coming from a general overseer of a church, it shows you the state of insecurity that we're sitting in, the fact that the church would even say, look, if you have to do so, do so.
It has gotten to that point, unfortunately.
That is really sad.
The same way that Matawale, a sitting governor, is insisting that the Constitution allows citizens to bear arms if they are licensed, especially in the face of danger. And it shows that people just can't rely on the promises of the authorities and security agencies alone. It looks like people are now saying we will have to defend ourselves. What we cannot bank on, however, is to say that because you are armed, security will improve. Because in America, it hasn't improved. For example, it hasn't. People are allowed to bear arms, but then, every now and then you see what happened in churches and schools and malls, etc. So those are the key stories. FRS can collect VAT from Lagos hotel owners. Appeal court rules. That's a story we'll find on page 5. But I think that we should take this day style very quickly.
We have on the cover, remaking a Nollywood classic, Glamour Girls. Now, I haven't had a chance to see this yet, but of course, it's another production on Netflix.
Yes.
Have you seen it, Steve?
I have seen it.
Okay, let's get your take on it.
I've read a lot about it. Interestingly, my views align with the majority of the opinion that have been expressed about this film, that it is not, it falls short of what you expect of a remake of a classic. The original Glamour Girls in 1994 was a banger. It was a super bang, interesting, very fantastic film. I struggled to stay through this film. It is not that it didn't show glamour. It is just that in terms of production value, tight storytelling, and putting everything together, it didn't meet my expectation.
Your expectation.
Okay. Unfortunately. But then kudos to them. Yes. I mean, series of remakes these days from Living in Bondage to Neka the Pretty Serpent to a few other, stories like that. This is another classic.
Did any of those live up to it?
They did.
Okay.
Unlike
so we're getting there somewhere. All right, let's take another one very quickly.
Vanguard, in few seconds before we go. Yes, Vanguard, massive voters registration. That's the lead. Tinubu, Atiku comes, downplay Peter Obi, Kwakwanso threat. Pro-youth women candidates will be difficult to stop in 2023. That's according to Atedo Peterside. Of course, everybody see Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and former Vice President Atiku Abubakar as the frontliners, and therefore they do not want to react, to the movement that is coming from the Peter Obi side, and they are just saying that yes, it's on social media. Campaigns have not even started. We will see, but then nobody can deny the fact that a movement is brewing, one way or the other, and that Kwakwanso with his NMPP is a strong factor, at least for now in Kano, up at Jigawa. Hopefully, it will spread to a few other states. But then there should be competition. Yes. We shouldn't just sit down and think that, it will go to either of the two. Let them compete. Let the youth decide. Let the women have a choice. Let Nigerians choose who will be, their leaders in 2023.
Absolutely. All right. In the name of democracy.
Absolutely. That's how democracy works. And that brings us to the end of the morning show today. Thank you for watching, and do stay safe. I'm Steve Ayoride.
And I am Abby Owolawi. From the rest of our team here in Lagos, Nigeria, enjoy the rest of your morning and, of course, the rest of your day. Goodbye.